everyone, welcome to Boomtown Hoops Live. We are here to talk about the Thunder's first loss of the season. Unfortunately, 72-0. The dream's dead. But there's still a lot of good stuff to talk about. Still a lot of great stuff to talk about as the Thunder fall to the Utah Jazz. A pair of great performances with Luguentz-Dort, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. A lot of really optimistic, positive stuff to talk about. This one truly went down to the wire. A really gritty performance from OKC. But let's just kind of get it started right away. Josh, what's your main takeaway from tonight's game?
It's about as good of a loss as you could have. Right in the season, we had some encouraging things happen. We played a playoff team, and we almost had them. It was a very close game at the very, very end. I would have really loved to see Shai hit that shot just so he could have 2 game winners to start the season. But honestly, the biggest takeaway is probably Lou. I think everybody's probably in agreement there. But what a bargain he is. We're talking about that before we came on, his contract and just what he gives you on the defensive end. Donovan Mitchell got loose at the end of the game, but for most of this game, Donovan Mitchell was a non-factor. And meanwhile, Lou's leading us in scoring. He's hitting threes. He hit the shot that almost was the game winner. He's incredible. We talked about Lou Dort so much, obviously in the bubble run through this, and I think we're going to be talking about him a lot again this year. He's a joy to watch. Very happy to have him.
Well, it was a regular season career high for Lou Dort with 26 points, which is weird because, again, famously, his career high is in Game 7 of the Rockets series with 30-something. So really, pretty cool position to be in for Lou Dort to have his regular season best not even match up with his playoff best. So you got to love it. You feel like you're playing with house money with Dort, but Cody, your vibes after this loss?
Yeah, like you guys said, you can't lose a better game. If you're going to lose a game, you want to go down to the wire and have a chance to win it at the end. Not exactly sure what was going on with that last play, the inbound pass with 3 seconds left and you're backed up behind the 3-point line trying to drive to the bucket with 3 seconds left. Just kind of disorganized. I don't know what was going on there.
Cody? I'm just curious. Do you like having Shai inbound it when he's the guy going to be taking the shot? It's kind of clunky to me.
It's kind of clunky, but at the same time, they might have doubled him, so you might not have been able to get the ball into him. Yeah. He's probably your best facilitator, so him having the ball in his hands at least right there. I would have liked for him to maybe pass the ball out of that instead of driving it and trying to hit an awkward, tip-in shot or something like that. I think Lou Dort was wide open in the corner. With how he was shooting tonight, it would have been probably a better percentage of a shot for that to fall. But overall, very pleased. Lou shot 5 of 7 from 3, 26 points. Can't ask for much more. Donovan Mitchell's he's always going to get you 20 points no matter what. Obviously Lou locked him down most of the game. He went crazy in the fourth quarter. I think a lot of that's attributed to Rudy Gobert setting some hard screens and getting some guys some space. But other than that, those two guys, SGA and Dort, were obviously the better players of the game. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think really, when you really look at it, that last play, very frustrating, very weird. I never liked it whenever they would have Paul George inbound the ball when I'm like, this guy's our best shooter. What are we doing? So
when you only have 7 seconds, just so
I don't get
seconds are precious. So I don't know, but a lot of teams do that. But
yeah, absolutely. Jesse, your thoughts on tonight's game?
I think the takeaway is, of course, Lou. He can kind of be a streaky shooter, but when he hit that first 3 to start the game, I was like, all right, we're in. And I just think any game that he can hold Donovan Mitchell to 20 points and score 26, we're going to take that. And I thought SGA looked good tonight as well, but I feel like, Lou definitely took the cake tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Lou Dort is the MVP on this. We don't even need to go into that segment later on. But again, you look at the final stat line, you think that it's like, Donovan had a pretty good game. And he did. He lit it up in the fourth. But I believe I saw a stat line at one point, only 12 points at one point in the fourth quarter. So Lou really had him under wraps. This is a very, very good Utah Jazz team that just kind of figured it out at the end, but that's what good teams do. So for your Thunder team to who's this kind of scrappy, weird squad. Not no one really thinks they're remotely playoff level to really take them down to the wire here. You can't really be upset in that aspect. And then hey, if you're a pro Tank Thunder fan, you got to be thrilled with this one because it was an enjoyable basketball game. And then at the end of the day, we still lost. So there you go.
It goes down as a loss. Tomorrow's going to be a back-to-back where I imagine Horford and maybe George Hill won't play. So probably another loss coming tomorrow. Maybe not. Never know. But, it still would have been nice. The losses or whatever. Like I said, I've said it a couple times. I'm always going to want us to win. I don't have it in me to hope they lose. They'll lose plenty. I don't have to worry about that. But, I can hope for them to win the games. And having Shea have a chance to go buzzer beater at home, I still would have really liked that. And Shea did some nice things down the stretch of this game. He almost took over. I mean, he ended up getting up into the mid-20s, obviously, in scoring. He was really big down the stretch to, and just Donovan Mitchell was kind of being just a little bit better, which is, at this point in their careers, fair enough. Donovan Mitchell just took over this game at the end. That was kind of really what it boiled down to. But, it's a good loss as far as good team, and you almost had them. So, you take it and you move on to the next one, and losses help in the grand scheme of things. So I guess.
Yeah, and you got to see a lot of really good progress out of our younger players, as we've definitely mentioned in quite a bit. Lou Dort, fantastic.
SGA, Dort,
SGA was great.
Our big three is doing stuff. Baszler didn't score a lot tonight, but 11 boards. I like it. I like what we're seeing from our big three here in these first two games.
Yeah, statistically, nothing really jumped off the stat sheet with Bazley, but if you watch the game, you can just tell he has this flow to the game. He was a pretty solid rebounder. He just looks better. And I know I said that last game, but just a remarkable performance from him. Really good block on Donovan Mitchell as well. Mm-hmm. But again, you just got to look at these Lou Dort shooting splits. It's insane. 9 of 11 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3. And then, obviously the 26 points. To think that Lou Dort is shooting that efficiently is just remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to have Lou Dort. I mean, if he can shoot, if he's a legitimate, we know what he gives us on defense. I mean, we've always wanted. It's just like the Thunder have had that elusive 3-and-D guy forever, and so to have what he's doing so far, and it's still young in this thing, but what we saw from him in the bubble and what we're seeing from him so far tonight in this game and these first two games, really, it's extremely promising. Lou Dort, man, I mean, what we're paying him, he's I think Cody said 460th highest paid player.
Out of 450 somehow.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. But pretty pleasing from Lou. The starting five, I thought all did pretty good things their own way. Like I've said a bunch of times, the starting five is okay. The bench is where we're going to lose games, and that's pretty much what happened this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the 5 was great. I love the spacing out of them. Everyone on that court can shoot the 3. It's really nice.
Al a little more comfortable in this one.
A little bit better, yeah. And we could talk about Dort all day for sure. But Shea also had a really great game. Another iffy game shooting the ball, only 9 for 21. But, Jesse, what did you see out of SGA today that, really, piqued your interest here?
I mean, I know the shooting wasn't great, but he is still able to get to the rim. And, I mean, he finishes through the contact anyways, so I think that's what we all kind of expect from him. And I think he finished with his 20, and he had the ball at the end of the game, which is where we would all kind of expect it to be. I know Luke may have had the open shot, but I don't know. I just think it went kind of the way we all expected it to, and it's nice to see him get to the rim that easily, because I think that's all what we expect. Absolutely.
That's his bread and butter. That's what he does best. Yeah. Getting to the rim, really smooth finishes. There were a lot of those, and really just a remarkable game from Shea. Cody, any thoughts on SGA?
Yeah, he's looking more and more comfortable in the role that he's in right now. So Is it going? I don't know, man. My internet's been terrible.
You're going.
Yeah, you're going.
Tomorrow,
Picture's a little sloppy.
Hey, he's looking a little more
AT&T.
comfortable in his role. Okay.
I feel you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
We also maybe just botched our AT&T sponsorship, but that's fine.
yeah, he's he's looking a lot more comfortable. Obviously had some,
Oh no!
That might have been it.
Oh no.
Oh no! AT&T is actively sabotaging Cody.
He's looking good. I don't really have a whole lot to add.
Cody, buddy, we're gonna like just let you go there. I'm so sorry, man. Please, we will go beat down the AT&T offices to make sure we have more Cody here. Oh, no pun intended, but there we go.
Yeah.
Anyways, just a great game from Oklahoma City, even though it ended in a loss. That this is a Jazz team that fought hard. They didn't laze through it. Very excellent third quarter from them. They were shooting lights out. Excellent game from Bojan Bogdanovic. That always mixes me up. Shot the lights out. When Mitchell wasn't showing up, when Gobert wasn't showing up. So it's not exactly like this Jazz team was, sleepwalking through it. They were playing hard.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is after the Jazz, like I said before, that's a playoff team right there. I would say they've been a playoff team for several years now. I mean, they're a team that's hoping to take the next step. This is not a game they wanted to lose. I mean, you could see they fell down. I think it was 6 early in the fourth quarter, and Rudy Gobert didn't get a call, and they were into it. The Jazz wanted this game, and they're not in any position to be giving away games. With how important seeding is in the West, you can't be playing a team like Oklahoma City this year. Is a game you got to have if you're Utah. So. Thunder may catch some people napping. I think that's probably a reasonable thing to expect. But you can catch people napping and get out to a good start. But to finish the games off, and the Thunder were really good at stretches in the second half of this game. Just like I said before, Don Mitchell was just a little bit better down the stretch. And like I've said a bunch of times, the Thunder that bench is just not gonna do them any favors. I mean, Poku still hasn't scored. We're 2 games into that, and Melodone does some good things here and there. It's really Muscala hitting some threes and Hamadou doing whatever he does. That's pretty much the bench right now, that's not a lot. So
yeah, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, go for it.
And no disrespect to the mullet man, Kenrick Williams, but anytime
don't get me started, man.
Anytime you have to play Kenrick Williams in a fourth quarter, you're probably a little bit in trouble.
Like I said,
let's just be honest.
I just don't want to go back over everything I talked about on whatever day. I can't keep track of the days right now. Saturday. I just don't know what is he. I don't know what he is. I don't know what he's doing on the team. I don't know what purpose he serves. He hustles and plays hard, but he's not the future, and he's also not a vet. He's just kind of there. He's just taking up minutes. I just don't know what he is.
He's listed as a shooting guard.
No way. Shooting guard?
Yeah, on ESPN has him as a shooting guard. It makes zero sense.
I don't know what he is. He's just kind of on the team. I don't know. I mean, I said before we came on, it's like why not just let Justin Jackson have his minutes? I don't. But he plays hard. He got a funny hairstyle. So
I, for one, am a big fan of our tank commander, Kenrick Williams. So.
Well, that's the tank lineup. Is when Coach Dagnall goes with just the full bench. That lineup is hard to watch, and I would like us not to do that anymore. It's hard to look at. I mean, because it's literally Hamadou's running the point, or Melodone is kind of it's good. It's Muscala is who they're turning to score. That's not good. So. That's the tank lineup, that group.
I for one am also a fan of 6-man Mike. Give me Muskie. Dropping some bombs.
He's ripping some triples out there.
He is. Jesse, your thoughts on the tank squad? I guess. Who's your favorite? Man.
I have a really hard time with Williams. I don't necessarily understand why he's on the team, much less playing with 5 minutes left in the fourth. I don't think that's ever really going to make sense to me. I'm trying to let it go because, it's apparent that they're going to play him at this point. They played him the last couple games. So that's the big question mark for me. it is difficult to watch the full bench together. I mean, you guys aren't wrong there. I feel like our starting five can hang with probably just about anybody, but the bench gets a little weird when we get them all in there.
Yeah, like I just don't understand. He's such a perplexing player because it really is like other than maybe Presti just trying to show what he is to try and trade him.
He tries really hard.
I don't know what is the point. He's not. He doesn't help you lose because he's probably better than Justin Jackson and like Roby or whoever will get his minutes. But you're not necessarily trying to win. He's not part of the future. He's 26. He's not really getting any better. I just don't really know what the point is. What is the goal of his minutes? That's what's weird about it.
He's just kind of there. I'm okay with it. You know, we needed another guy in the Mount Rushmore of, Thunder scrubs to be there among.
He's going to be one of those guys in like 10 years. We're going to be like Kendrick Williams. He's going to be one of those.
He is going to be on the level of Chucky Atkins and Malik Rose in, 5 some odd years. We're just talking about weird players.
Perry Jones. He's going to be one of those. Yeah.
Good Lord. I love it. Well, hey, we're going to be back at it again tomorrow night. Nice little double header at home. You don't see those often.
Got a couple of Magic games real quick here. They play the Magic again. I think just a couple days after tomorrow.
Yeah, into the new year. I believe on Saturday in Orlando. So just getting the Magic out of the way, I'm okay with it. I don't. Really care
that's it. Magic will be done.
I do not care about the Magic. But final thoughts on this game before we wrap it up. Jesse, I'll let you start off.
I mean, depending on who you ask, the game may not have ended how we would have wanted, but they did stay competitive and it was fun to watch. SGA had his moments. Lou came up big. I think Lou's defense on Donovan Mitchell, like we all know he did a great job, but it may not be mentioned as much since he did finish with, I think, 20, but he didn't have that many until later in the fourth. So I think his defense was great. And, I mean, we didn't win, but there was a lot to take from this game, and it was still fun. So,
yeah, absolutely. Josh?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I wanted Shea to make that shot. I wanted to win the game. But, just kind of the way this year is going to be, the loss isn't really going to stick with me. It's not going to bother me. I mean, if this was – any other year of Thunder, pretty much, this would really annoy me and bother me that we missed a game-winning shot at home. But, this year it's really just kind of get them next time, So it's fine. We played the Jazz. Again, that's a playoff team. That's a team that was, I don't even know what seed last year, 6 seed. That's a good team. They were a higher seed before. That's a solid group, that the Thunder with this baby team, took to the very end here and almost beat, So, it's encouraging. Obviously, it helps the draft positioning. Every loss does. That's the good way to look at it. And on to the next one. I just hope I'm still waiting for Poku to do anything. I like the guy. He's given us a whole lot of nothing. I will say, though, almost forgot, Bob. We talked about it before we came on. Whenever Shea missed the shot, the game-winning shot, first guy out there was Poku. That was cool. Literally, Shea missed the shot. He's laying on the ground. He's disappointed he just missed the game winner. And the first guy comes running off the bench to help him up was Poku. That was kind of cool. I mean, he just got drafted like a week ago. I mean, the draft was so close to the season. So, these guys barely even know each other. So that was kind of neat, seeing that he's already kind of becoming part of the team a little bit. But still waiting on Poku. That's pretty much all I'm watching for. Tomorrow, he's probably going to get more minutes because, again, I'm pretty sure Horford is sitting. So, I would imagine Poku's going to – does he start? I mean, who's even?
Oh my gosh! Starting Poku. Yeah, he's only been here for a month.
So I'm still waiting on Poku to do something. That's pretty much all I'm waiting for. And also, I'm excited if we sit Horford in George Hill. Who else do we start to play? Do we get to actually finally see Justin Jackson? Do we? Do they let Roby's still here? So you might as well play him. For whatever reason, he's still here. So.
He doesn't have anything else to do unless he's just.
This is the year to mess around with it. This is the year to mess around with it and try stuff out. You never know. Lou Dort was lightning in a bottle. Not saying we have another guy like that, but maybe we do. I don't know.
Isaiah
Roby, like Josh Hall, the two-way guy, Josh Hall. People really like him. I've heard a lot of good things about him. let's see what he can do. Let's see it.
I mean, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. And ultimately, for me, like this game, I'm with you, and I think it was such a refreshing, a breath of fresh air. Just I wanted that shot to go in for Shea. I wanted the Thunder to win, but when they lost, I was just like, hey, wait, the tank is going. Tank's back.
Anytime you play a good team and lose close, that's basically a win this year.
We performed well. It was entertaining basketball. It's not like we got beat by 50 like the Clippers did. It was a good game that we lost close, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no bad result that could have come out of tonight's game as it was played. So I'm pumped. I feel great about the future.
Yeah, I'm fine. Let's see what they can do tomorrow against Orlando, and got Steve coming into town on Thursday.
I don't know. My heart's ready for that quick.
His tribute video being played in front of nobody is the most cruel thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
they should
sad.
just save it. They should just save it and wait till there's fans there.
Man,
I don't know if they will or not, but
that tribute video is going to be emotional for sure. But
Russ one, I was at the arena for Russ's return last year, and I low key wanted to sob. I'm not gonna lie, that hurt. That hurt to watch.
I don't think other than Russ, like there will be a more emotional return than Steven. So
I think Steve's probably the second most beloved Thunder player of all time.
We'll all be tearing up in our living rooms on New Year's Eve for sure. So
oh boy.
Just one final gut punch from 2020. Steven Adams on a different team. Jeez. Yeah.
All the other ones are sad, but Steve hits different.
We still have a mural of the man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's tough, but anyways, hey, thank you all so much for joining us on this post-game show. And we'll see you back tomorrow when we talk about the Thunder and Magic and Alexei Pokachevsky's eventual 60-point game.
Game.
Absolutely. So for me, Josh, and Jesse, this has been the Boomtown Hoops post-game show. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.